This is a quick introduction how to scale commercial Tracardi. This is my Kubernetes. The most important thing in scaling Tracardi is to scale Apache Pulsar. The minimum setup for Pulsar is to have 3 bookies, 3 brokers, 3 proxies, and 3 zookeepers. So make sure that you have at least 3. Probably in the bigger setups that could be like 10 or more, and also there must be enough memory for each bookie and broker. So please see the documentation of Apache Pulsar how to scale this part of the system. Then when you have Pulsar scaled, then you have to see if the workers that are working consume all the messages that come to Tracardi. The simplest way is to go to your API, go to documentation of that API, log in, look for endpoints that are responsible for queues. The endpoint that you are interested in is a backlog. Backlog tells you how many messages, events are not saved real time. So we can use tryout. Namespace will be system and the topic would be functions, and please execute that. You should see total as 0. Before you do that, make sure that Tracardi is receiving some events. So you will see if there are any events actually left unsaved, because in the long run, when you have like events that are not saved in real time, your topic backlog will be filled, and finally after some time the system will fail. Here are the details, all the partitions. You can also increase the number of partitions. By default we have 10 partitions for this topic, and it should be enough. So first check this parameter. Later, when you see that the system is lagging and does not save the events real time, it's usually visible this way, that when you go to data, you should see some delay in the saved events. So there will be like some time where the events are not visible, because the system is trying to save all the events that are on the queue, and you do not see any new events coming. Sometimes it's also visible when you try to do a test. You will not see the profile being saved or the event being saved, because they stay on the queue and there is a lag, and the system is not saving the data. How to prevent this? Go to your Tracardi installation, and you have to make sure that this worker, which is written Python and it's a background worker, has to be scaled. So just scale it to have at least 10 workers. Okay, when you scale it, you should go back to the API and refresh it from time to time and see if the total number of unprocessed events is dropping. The background worker is responsible for saving the events. There are also stateful sets which are responsible for getting the events from your website. Actually, this is an API, so the more API instances you have, the more calls to that API you will be able to receive, and that API is putting the events to the queue, and the background pods are saving it. So I would recommend just starting with about, I would say, 20 replicas of the API, and at least, I don't know, 30, even 50 background workers. I would say for one open API instance, I would use 3 background workers. And you can also scale other things. This is the worker for the automatic profile merging, and I would also use like at least 5 to 10 replicas of this Docker. To explain it further, let me show you some animation for Istio that shows how the traffic goes. so you will be able to understand why the system may fail if there are not enough background workers. So when I play it, you can see that this is your website. It goes through, in this way, it goes through a private service, which is an API. It goes to the Docker private, and it automatically just saves it to the pulsar through the proxy. So it's on the pulsar, and then there is this background worker just batch all the data and just saves it to Elasticsearch. If there is not enough background workers, everything is just accumulates on the pulsar, and you will see this in your data. When you see that there's lag, not all the events are saved because the background worker, there are not enough background workers to save it to Elasticsearch. So make sure that there are like enough background workers that get the data from the pulsar and save it to Elasticsearch.